So we're almost into March, and that means March Madness time, and that's not only for Michigan, Michigan State, and the other collegiate programs around the state and around the country. It's also for high school sports, and I can't remember a time when we have a more exciting March coming up here in the greater West Bloomfield area, with two of our teams ranked number one, both on the men's and the women's side. The West Bloomfield girls basketball team ranked number one in the state, and the Orchard Lake St. Mary boys basketball team ranked number one also. We're going to be doing our very best to cover those, and those programs get a lot of excitement and interest. However, those programs and the football program, which are likely our most high-profile programs in athletics in our communities and all communities, certainly don't represent the vast majority of athletes that are out there working hard each and every day. And one of the programs, the West Bloomfield Lacrosse program, is a program that is just incredible. Now, it's a little different in lacrosse, I think, where most of the athletes, they don't start when they're in grade school playing lacrosse. A lot of the players that end up in lacrosse end up getting involved in it a little bit later in their athletic career. But this takes money and financing. And in the spirit of that, the West Bloomfield Lacrosse Bowling Fundraiser is going on Sunday from 1 to 4. Joining us now, Recruiting Coordinator and Fundraising Chair Jennifer Gulati of the West Bloomfield Lacrosse team. Jennifer, good morning. Thank you for joining us here on The Splash. Good to have you.
Well, good morning, Dave, and thanks for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about our team. And it's funny that you segued about basketball, because actually basketball was invented by a football lacrosse player. They needed a non-contact indoor sport to keep the kids healthy and unhurt, because most of the players that played football also played lacrosse. The sports go hand in hand together with a lot of the agility, the speed, the reading your man. So it was a natural fit. So actually everyone who plays basketball, they're playing lacrosse just without a stick.
Well, that's really interesting. I never really thought about it that way, but it makes a lot of sense. When I went to high school in the 70s at West Bloomfield High School, I should mention, you're right. I mean, especially back then when there wasn't the diversity of athletic programs that we have now, it was pretty much football and basketball. And I can see that it might be more productive to have athletes playing lacrosse and basketball. Talk about the West Bloomfield lacrosse program, because I'm guilty. I'm football and basketball guy. We've been doing the play-by-play for those teams here, and I'm really glad you're here on the show today to help us learn more about our lacrosse team. What can you tell us to bring people up to speed on the team?
So both the boys and the girls team are club sports, which means they're 100% self-funded. So which means they have to, the players' fees account for the coaching, any of the equipment, any of the fees to use the fields, to paint the fields, lights, whatever is needed during the season. So the season can be pretty expensive depending on how many kids you have on the team. So we've worked really hard to do fundraisers to reduce the cost of kids to play, because it's mostly a new sport. Number one, not only do they have to pay for all the coaching fees, equipment, the kids also have to purchase their own equipment. Girls is pretty inexpensive. It's it's goggles, cleats, mouth guard, and stick, where boys have helmets, elbow pads, chest pad, gloves, cup and stick, and their cleats. So it gets a little more expensive. So we've worked really hard with fundraisers to try to reduce the cost for kids to get into the game of lacrosse. And the bowling fundraiser we're having this coming weekend is up at Wonderland Lanes. And if you fill out the form, you can choose if you want to donate to the boys team or the girls team. So it benefits both teams, even though we're the ones running it. And any of the community involvement we'd love to have to help this, because when my son first started as a high schooler, it was $770 to play as the fee, and we've got it down to $200 for the new kids.
Are you competing as a West Bloomfield lacrosse men's and women's teams? Are they competing with other schools where lacrosse is not a club sport and is funded to a greater degree, or is it a club sport in all the MHSAA schools here in the state of Michigan?
It depends. Depends on the program that how they're running it. Places like Lake Orion start with a first and second degree or second grade team. So lacrosse is part of the culture. Brother Rice is a private school. Same thing. It's really the culture of the school and how they have the how they emphasize. If you look at programs like Heartland and Catholic Central, Brother Rice, they always put up good football teams. Romeo has a great lacrosse team as well as football team. So if you look at the schools that have great football programs, a lot of times they have a great lacrosse program because it's the athletes are getting the same input. Now, as far as girls lacrosse goes, basketball players make a beautiful fit.
All right, we got a little break up with Jennifer. There we go. Okay. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Hi.
We just lost your signal for just a second. Go ahead, continue.
Okay. For girls lacrosse, there's more opportunities for girls to play in college after they played in high school. It's the number 2 sport behind ice hockey. And for boys, it's the number 1 sport. If you played lacrosse in high school, that it's 12.8% that you'll play in college, which is more than most other sports. They're usually single digits that play in college.
Well, it's really great to highlight the sport. It's a lot of fun to watch. I can't imagine how much fun it is to participate. It is a very athletic endeavor, and it's great to see that you are supporting this. Calvin, let's bring that slide up one more time about the fundraiser, and let's make sure we get all the details in front of the audience so they can go out and enjoy this amazing fundraiser. We'll get that up. Here we go. So it's Sunday, February 25th, this Sunday, from 1 to 4 at Wonderlane Bowling. $25 per person. It includes pizza pop, silent auction. This is also for all you listening on the radio. We can't see the slide we have up. There's a QR code for those of you that are watching on TV, and you can hit that QR code and get all the information. So, Jennifer, are we going to come out and just have fun and everybody bowl? Is there going to be a competitive thing, or is it just, good old let's go to the bowling alley and have some fun with our friends and neighbors?
It's going to be come out to the bowling alley, have a great time with your friends and neighbors, and make new friends and support a great group of kids. And
all
if
right. Any other information? Go ahead.
Yes. You can check on the West Bloomfield Boys Lacrosse Team Group Facebook site. We have links to the flyer is there. And if you can't come out and join us, we do take corporate sponsorships to help the team. And that would be greatly appreciated. That information is on the Facebook site as well.
All right, Jennifer. Well, good job. I'm going to try to come out on Sunday. I'll bring you a check if I do. And if not, I'll put it in the mail. It's just a beautiful thing that you're doing. Thank you so much for being with us on the program, taking a couple of minutes. Go Lakers. And thank you, Jennifer.
And I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about a great group of kids playing a really amazing sport. Thank you again for this opportunity. And I hope to see you at the games. They're fun.